So Cora Miracle is dead, and the situation is just over. But I thought I'd do one last goodbye, one last let go. So Cora Miracle, I'm sorry, it's hard not to smile and be serious because I am kind of happy that I no longer have to worry about a child. I'm a little sad, but I'm more happy than sad because I no longer have to worry about her. But Cora Miracle is dead. It's over with. But I do want to talk about how this all came about and how Cora Miracle's life ended. So here we go. When I first, well, if you want to know some other things, I did post like 4 other videos. I posted the story of Cora Miracle part 1 and part 2. This is technically part 3 in my final video. But you want to watch those videos before I delete them or find them on the internet somewhere, because I will be deleting this whole entire channel like nothing ever happened. This will be over with in about a few hours when I deactivate the channel. But if you want to watch those, I did go into detail on certain things and how things came about and what happened when she was born and things of that nature. I also posted the day that she was born, us in the hospital and whatnot. And okay, so this is what happened. Cora Miracle, she came home with me. I wasn't very happy or pleased with what I gave birth to. So when I had her alone, I pretended like I was giving her a bath. So in case I had to talk to any police or doctors, I could say it was an accident. So you know what I'm saying? So I put her in the tub. I got some very slippery baby oil shampoo. Yeah, baby oil shampoo. It was very slippery. So I put that on my hands purposely. So at least, you know, it will look like an accident. So I planned it out absolutely perfectly. So I kind of rubbed it all over my hands. I grabbed her and I literally dropped her like this in the sink. And she was crying her ass off. Like she almost busted her head wide open. She was crying. She was in a lot of pain. So I found that completely hilarious. My family made me take her to the doctor the next day because she was in a lot of pain. But like I said, I had an alibi. The soap was slippery. So that's what I told them. They checked her out. She was fine. A few bruises. And I was cleared for it being an accident. Secondly, her umbilical cord, I cut it off with scissors. You know, you're supposed to let it fall off, but I cut that bitch off with scissors. My family took me to the doctor again because of her umbilical cord being off, and they was like, it's gonna get infected and stuff. So yeah, they checked her out for that. They did give medicine for it, but I didn't really give it to her because I really didn't want her to suffer. But unfortunately, my family would give her the medicine if I didn't. So they did give me medicine because her tummy was hurting and stuff. Apparently it was a open thing because I cut it off early. And you're supposed to let it fall off, which I knew that, but I want her to suffer. So once again, I had did something to her, Cora Miracle. There's so many things I did to her, and since this is my final video, I'm gonna try to get it out there. And there was a lot of things I did to her. I used to pinch her skin. If she woke me up at 3 a.m., I would literally throw her to the floor, or I would pinch her skin really hard, and she would cry. I used to choke her, slap her, punch her, all type of things when she was a few days old. And I did a lot of things to her. I'm not going to lie. I'm going to get it all out there. I did a lot of stuff to Cora Miracle. I used to pinch her skin. I remember one time she woke me up at 3 a.m. and I was really pissed off. So I grabbed her by her arm and I jerked her out of her little crib. I grabbed her arm. I jerked that hoe out her crib. And damn near broke her arm off. And I pinched her skin so hard. I said, bitch, you don't wake me up at no fucking 3 a.m. My family was there, unfortunately, and she screamed so fucking loud. And they ran into my room and they said, what happened to her? And I was like, you know she wakes up every day at 3 a.m. She always wakes up at 3 a.m. like 24/7. Every day she wakes up at 3 a.m. So I was like, she wakes up at 3 a.m. She always cries at 3 a.m. They was like, well, this is a different cry. She know me not crying that loud. I'm like, oh, she must be hungry. You know, anything for them not to investigate, because I don't want them to see the pinches on her skin. So basically I told him I'm going to feed her. I'm going to go warm my bottle and feed her. You guys can go back to sleep, because she was crying really, really loud. And normally they'll take her and bring her into their room and let her sleep in there when she gets fussy at 3 a.m. But I did not want them to see the bruises or the pinches on her skin. So I said, you know what, I'm going to take her, yada, yada, yada. And they looked at me weird, because that was unusual for me, because I always try to avoid being with her at all costs. But anyways, I took her to warm her bottle, yada, yada, yada. That's what happened that specific night. One time I was with Cora, and I just wanted to do anything to hurt her, and I had pulled her whole entire fingernail off. And it was kind of hard to explain what happened. You know how a lot of times, like, babies' fingernails grow and they say you're supposed to bite the fingernails off? Well, I had to come up with something. I was trying to trim her fingernails, and I made a mistake and took her whole nail off. So it was kind of hard to get out of that one, because of all the times that I did stuff to her and I had to explain what happened. But yeah, that's why I told him what happened. I told him it was a mistake. There was no proof that it wasn't, so everything was fine. When Cora was, I believe she was half of a month old, I did get in trouble because I wanted to go out to this party with some friends. A lot of y'all already know this story, but like I said, since this is part 3, the ending, I am going to get into that, since even though y'all already know what happened, you can skip 3 minutes ahead. I mean, well, it's like a long story. You could skip 1 minute ahead if you don't want to hear this. But like I said, I had got in trouble because I left her at home by herself, and she was on the swinging. And I left her home by herself, and the swing was on the floor, and she was halfway out the swing, and one of the neighbors saw her because I left the door open. So one of the neighbors was passing by with their nosy ass, because a lot of people don't know how to mind their own business. Mind your own fucking business. Stuff that have nothing to do with you, you don't have to worry about it. Mind your own fucking business. But it was somebody who have no motherfucking life, and since they have no life, they called the police because they saw her on the floor and the door was wide open. So I came back home, and there was authorities there. But it took me a little while to get out of that mess. I had to talk about things and stuff like that, but I did get out of it. And since she basically got me in trouble, because I could have got arrested. So since she got me in trouble, that's when I really started to despise her. When she was like a month and a half old, she was constantly flirting with my boyfriend, and she did it for literally months. Like, he would change her diaper, she would be flirting with him, and literally just like looking at him, basically trying to get him to touch on her.